wobble board. When I was at Westminster, I worked with Mike Freeman, who was an orthopaedic surgeon who was trying to get his Master of Surgery, and he'd decided that one of the areas where people didn't know how to treat were these people with persistent sprained ankles, because he'd been in the army and he was always doing sit parades where I've sprained my ankle and I can't walk. Can I be exempt from boots and things like that? So he wanted to do some research into it. So he'd done all his anatomical research and things, looking at the ligaments in cats and straining them and looking at the changes that occurred. Then he decided he wanted to do something with physio, and he came to Westminster from the London. And he was a little bit of an arrogant guy, and he said, "What can Westminster do?" So I said, "Well, we were noted then for P&F techniques, because Monica Martin-Jones was the P&F lady. And I said, we can do P&F and do patterns of movement." And he then explained what he wanted, and so we said, "Well, you should get a wobble board, because you can put things and strain it and get people's reactions." And so he said, right. So he went over to see Monica and said he wanted to do some research on this, and he wanted to send over to the physio department any ankle that came into Westminster. So on Monday and Tuesday, if you sprained your ankle in Westminster, you were sent over to the physio department, and you had ice, elevation, P&F and wobble boards. If you did it on a Wednesday and a Thursday, you had everything else but no wobble board. Friday, Saturday and Sunday you were put in plaster, and that was the control. And then we had 9-month and 1-year follow-ups, and he had it all worked out statistically that if those who had used the wobble board and balance reaction was stimulated immediately, the chances of it recurring were reduced considerably to the others. And so he forwarded this for his Master of Surgery and was awarded it on all the work that we did for him, and the ideas we'd given him. But then we started using the wobble board for other things, knees and neurological things. We got bigger ones, and so people were kneeling on them and things. So I was quite a convert to wobble boards. So when I came out to Middlemore, I said, could we have a wobble board? And the only way I could get it was by asking the orthopaedic surgeon I worked for if he would put in the requisition, and it came up to the ward. They rang up and said, "It's ready." Went down there, and with the usual New Zealand helpfulness that was around there, they said it looked a bit unstable, so I cut the bottom off it, so I now had a level wobble board. So I explained to the carpenter what I wanted, so he said, "Okay." And so the next day I had a wobble board that wobbled. And then when we moved into our new department, we decided that we wanted a long one for the neurological people. And though we'd got round wobble boards with just balls on the bottom, we wanted to get this so it wasn't just in one dimension only. So we went to Ray Vincent Truckers and got a universal joint from them, made a hole in the ground and stuck this up at the bottom, a hole in the ground, and then we had a wobble board that could move in any direction at all.